Hello, Phil Newton England here with another Crystal Maze review. Now today we're going to be looking at this. It's another Crystal Maze puzzle book. Now this one was originally published in 1991 by Mammoth Books and cost £2.99. Now we'll have a look on the cover. As you can see in the background we have this drawing of an old Aztec game from series 1 of the show. We have the Crystal Maze logo at the top, and down at the bottom we have the genial maze master himself, Richard O'Brien, in the industrial zone. Now I love this cover purely because of this crystal here. As you can see, it's like a hologram, all shiny, and it's really nice. Now I think later editions that was just plain. I might be wrong there, but I'm sure I did see some in a bookshop, and it was just, like I say, it was just a plain crystal and not that shine on. But anyway, let's carry on. We'll have a look at the spine. The Crystal Maze by David Morris and Jamie Thomson. And then we'll have a look at the back. The Crystal Maze. Can you outwit Robin Hood or solve the riddle of the pyramids? Test your skills in imagination as you and your team try to crack the Crystal Maze. Now you can play Channel 4's top-rating adventure at home with all the thrills and tension of the TV game. Your host awaits. Based on the Crystal Maze series, a Chatsworth television production for Channel 4. So there you go. So let's have a look inside. Open it up. Now, as you can see here, my copy is signed by Richard O'Brien. I got to meet him down in London at the London Palladium when Chitty Chitty Bang Bang was on. I got backstage to meet all the cast, and he signed this book and some other Crystal Maze merchandise. Really nice guy. So anyway, moving on. The Crystal Maze Adventure Gamebook by Dave Morris and Jamie Thomson. Introduction. It is the year 2090. The most popular holovision series of the late 21st century is The Crystal Maze. Teams of 4 contestants are given the opportunity to enter different time zones in their search for the crystals that will win them time in the Crystal Dome at the end. In other respects, the programme has come a long way from its origins as a 20th century television show, making full use of the advances in technology. The time zones are highly realistic, being simulated by means of holograms, animatronic robots and computer graphics, and the host who conducts the contestants through the 4 zones is the latest in artificial intelligence, the amazingly lifelike android Rob 9000. How to play. You are given the opportunity to take a 4-person team through the Crystal Maze. It is your choices that will decide whether they emerge with plenty of time crystals or empty-handed. Now, how the attributes are used. At various points in the adventure, you may be asked to make an attribute check for one of your team members. For instance, a team member attempting to lift a heavy boulder would need to make a strength check. To do this, you roll 2 dice and compare the total to the team member's attribute score. A roll equal to or less than the attribute score indicates success. A higher roll is failure. So there you go. It's like a kind of choose your own adventure book where you read each page or chapter and at the end you have to make a decision. Then depending on which decision you choose, that takes you to a different page. So there's a load of different routes that you can take, or permutations. So we have here the Crystal Maze Adventure Sheet, crystals collected, time totals, notes, and then you have your adventure sheet there with your team members' names, their strengths and weaknesses, and items carried. So you fill that out. So as I say, it's a bit like a choose your own adventure, but there's a bit more to it as well. You are met at the entrance to the Crystal Maze by Rob 9000, the uncannily lifelike android who is to act as your host and guide. He favours you each with a broad smile as he shakes your hand, but he also warns you that he is programmed for a certain mercilessness behind the facade of charm. After all, you'd hardly want things to be too easy, would you? He says. That wouldn't make for enjoyable viewing. I will give you the odd clue now and again, though. To start with, which zone would you like to enter first? They all have crystals aplenty just waiting to be won. I don't necessarily recommend visiting the zones in chronological order, by the way. In fact, quite the reverse. And then, as you can see there, you can enter medieval, Aztec, futuristic or industrial. Depending which one you want to go through, you turn to that number chapter. So we'll quickly go through it. Some artwork there of Aztec. Again, I can't really read it because the nature of it, you're backwards and forwards, depending on which choices you make. But I will give you a quick look through, just so you can see the artwork as well. Medieval zone. So you get generic questions like, would you do this, would you do that, or a multiple choice answer. And again, depending which answer you choose, you turn to that particular chapter. I've played it a few times myself, and I think I've either died or I've got locked in. But it's different to the usual puzzle books that the Crystal Maze has released. So I won't go through it all, as I say, because it's more or less the same. But I know another guy has reviewed this on YouTube as well in a bit more depth. So obviously you can always look for that as well if you need to know a bit more about it. There you go. Obviously some decisions are made by the dice as well. Picture of industrial zone there. Like I say, I did have a few choose your own adventures when I was younger. I think they were like Cluedo ones. So I'm a big fan of Cluedo as well. But obviously my main interest is the Crystal Maze. Futuristic zone. So there you go, different types of puzzles, questions, conundrums, things like that. And we'll get to the end bit. Coming to the end now. Again, like this one, which one will reach the ground first, depending on the angle of the ramp. So you get puzzles like that. And there you go. Then at the end, multiply the number of crystals collected by the number of team members left. This gives your score. So 1 to 15 is abysmal, and 72 is championship level. So at the end, Rob shakes your hands. Well done, he says, a twinkle in his eye. To collect your prizes, just come to the Chatsworth offices at 9 AM on the 1st of April 2091. See you there. So there we have it, the Crystal Maze puzzle book. I hope you've enjoyed that, and see you soon. Bye.